To Owen Delaney Park in Taupo. Third and final game of day 2 of Super Rugby Aotearoa under-20s. You see a brooding sky over this wonderful sporting venue. Two teams that won on the opening day, the Crusaders and the Chiefs. Crusaders too good for the Blues, 34-24, and the Chiefs with a opening game victory, 40-26. A little bit of lightning in and around the area. 40-26, the Chiefs over the Hurricanes, who we've just seen hold on over the Highlanders in a cracking encounter. Man who called that has slid into the expert analyst chair, former Tongan captain Willie Lose, Malola Lay. Heck of a performance for these two teams to follow up. But Willie, what we saw on day 1 is that these two teams are very capable of matching, maybe even emulating or surpassing, I should say, that match we just saw between the Hurricanes and the Highlanders.
Well, two quality sides, there's no doubt about that. What they showed on Sunday is that they are here for the title and they mean business. They've got quality right across the board and they've got some talented youngsters that we're going to see a lot of in the near future.
You see they've turned the lights on there as the weather rolls around on Tauhara. There you see the Crusaders, and they have made just a few tweaks, bringing in new front row forwards and Seth Brown and Luca Inch to start. They've shifted Dom Gardner, who was very impressive at lock, out to the blind side, and also brought in Fletcher Anderson, but they keep that key spine at 8, 9 and 10 of Segner, Hughes and Lewis. And likewise, Willie, for the Chiefs, just the odd tweak here and there from coach Paul Hodder.
Yeah, he has made a couple of changes, but look at the class as well. When you look at that front row, and I love the work that Cunningham and Jury will give them. Broughton as a classy blindside flanker with Lasanga and Rubin. And then look at the back three, but also Cook Savage. Rampling, for me, was the player that really stood out for the Chiefs on the opening day on Sunday.
Yeah, well, he is captaining the side, getting Rampling. The change at halfback for Kane O'Connor, that was called by Ben Strang, who unfortunately has suffered a head knock, of course. No opportunity to be able to clear concussion protocols given the short turnarounds of these particular games. So there you see it. We are hopeful the weather holds for us as Anton Segner leads out the Crusaders, who really ground their way to a victory over the Blues. Blues had them early on, but goodness gracious me, that class of that well-oiled Crusaders machine that was been so used to at the senior level, very much apparent at under 20 level as well, as the Frankfurt-born Segner brings his team in around him for a one final word. And here comes the Chiefs wearing their alternative strip, wearing the teal. That is Gideon Rampling, the man who impressed you so much on day 1, Willie Lawson.
Yeah, they're a great side. There's no question they would have thought about what they needed to improve on, even though it was a masterful performance against the Canes, winning 40 points to 26. But this is a different proposition. This is the Hurricanes, a side and also a region that we know that have just set the standard for Super Rugby at all levels.
As we see our match officials make their way out, there they are, heading into the final circle. And there you see the scene at Owen Delaney Park in Taupo. There is your referee from Auckland, the Emperor, Angus Maybe. We touch of the toes. And it is Ollie Lewis, vice-captain of the Crusaders, who will get this game underway. They play from left to right on your screen. Good opening day performances by both of these sides. We've seen the Blues and the Hurricanes victorious. Who will join them in the last game of day 3? It's a wonderful initiative, Super Rugby Aotearoa under 20. Lewis goes down the middle. Up there and challenging. That ball has been knocked on, and straight away, 7 seconds in, and the Crusaders have a penalty dead in front.
Tupai Thompson, the man, they went up and they competed together, but he was in front of the man that touched it last, and so that puts him in an offside position. And this is an easy 3 points for Ollie Lewis. Dream start for the Crusaders. Here's the kickoff, and have a look at this. It's just communication. And so when they go up, you'll see that Tupai Thompson stays where he is. Now the ball hits a player from his own team, and he picks it up there. That's clearly offside. Early error.
Just so hard, that instinct. If the ball's there, I need to get at it. And just the body just not reacting to the fact that, oh, goodness gracious me, it has come off one of mine. Lewis on day 1 6 of 8 off the kicking tee. 4 penalties and 2 conversions, but it was his play driving his team around the field too. Very good with the tactical and general kicking. So has that ball arced quite a long way forward. Seen a wonderful kicking display in the match prior. Takes a nice big deep breath. We'll see if he can give his side the first lead of the match. Nice strike. Drives it through the middle, and it's the Crusaders after 90 seconds who have the advantage. Lewis trots back into position. And the Chiefs now just their third touch of the ball. The first off a player, and then another one picked up by the wrong person, and now it'll be Lucas Cashmore. It's that dark backdrop, nice and high. This is going to be Matthias Peel, the right winger, one of the changes from the side on Sunday. And now he is caught, and a chance for the Chiefs, if they choose to try and fire back. Holding on. Decision here for the Chiefs, for Gideon Rampling.
Well, that won't please Coach Dan Perrin. Every side knows that after you've scored points, you've got to clear your red zone. You don't want to be stuck around here and give the opposition a chance to maybe take 3, but it looks like the Chiefs' mindset is to go for more.
Cashmore onto the left foot and drives into the corner.
Isolated and holding on to the ball. Just not getting there in time to clear out the body of Lasunga. Boy, he is powerful. He had the legs nice and wide as well.
Hutty taken down nicely by Broughton, who was a standout on day one. Lasunga's got this as the Chiefs try to drive. Using Broughton as the base to work on. Driving forward. This is a great surge by the Chiefs. Now getting very close. And away they go. And Kane O'Connor's through. And the Chiefs strike back just like that. 5-3, 3 gone. Kane O'Connor with the try.
Yeah, but put it down to the hard work of the forwards that gave them the platform. They sucked in all the forwards, and so every Crusader was in there. And O'Connor got the speed wobbles. I thought he was going to hit the deck, but he's just a better footballer than I gave him credit for, and he goes over. What a response from the Chiefs. Absolutely perfect. Get the Crusaders involved, bring them all in, and O'Connor just skipped out of the first tackle and scores the first of the afternoon.
Lovely response from the Chiefs. There is Kane O'Connor, a man born in Masterton, just 19 years of age, because all these players have to be under the age of 20 as of the 1st of January this year. There is Cashmore. 3 conversions, 2 penalties in the opening game victory over the Hurricanes. There's the left foot through. That's a nice kick. And 7 points to 3. The Chiefs with the advantage now. We get another look at it. Yes, O'Connor just eyes lit up. Just that slip by Lewis. O'Connor through. Nice response by the Chiefs. He's 10 points, only 4.5 gone. Lewis. High, trying to give his chasers the opportunity to get under this. And they do. Now that's been knocked on by the Chiefs, and the Crusaders come back. Here's Bell. Another player who was impressive against the Blues. Scored a try and set one up. Hughes. Segner. Head down, driving forward, the skipper. Hughes wants quick ball again. This is under advantage. Not rolling away is the call. So another chance here for Lewis if he wishes to take it. Judging by the way that ball has gone straight to him, that will be the case.
Broughton there on the tackle, but once again, just showing the class of Segner. Nothing was on there. He had no right to make the ground that he did, but just kept pumping the legs, got a metre, bought another metre, and Broughton, no clear release there. He's just lying all over the ball. The referee can see him there, blows the whistle, and this will give the Crusaders a chance to get a little closer.
Lewis, as the lights actually really start to take good effect, start highlighting the darkness that is It's coming over Taupo. So we've been very fortunate. They were forecasting the weather to roll in a little bit earlier in the day, but it's held off and allowed us to see two cracking matches, first between the Blues and the Barbarians, and then an outstanding game between the Hurricanes and the Highlanders, with the Highlanders showing some wonderful fortitude to come back after seemingly being dead in the water. Here is Lewis. Straight in front, great technique. Brings it back to a 1-point game. 7-6 Chiefs with the advantage, 6.5 gone. Lewis continues his good kicking form. The Chiefs trot back, and the Crusaders no doubt wanting to make sure, as Willie Losse alluded to, secure this ball and exit. Cashmore going deep. Rova's going to clear this one. Johnny's going to look to carry. The man out of New Plymouth Boys High School. Hughes goes back out. Here's Bell. Someone's lost a boot. Ball comes back. Lewis coming forward to take that. And Cook Savage. Offside, and Cook Savage going quickly. Tapia trying to go for the step. Gets around Hughes. Tapia Cook Savage. Chiefs respond again. 7 minutes gone. It's 12-6. Kick to come, Willie Lawson.
Well, every time they kick a penalty, they go back into their own half, and then they give Chiefs a little bit of ammunition. Someone in front of the kick-up, and so it was always coming back to the point. And how about the heads-up play from Tapia Cook Savage? Looked up, couldn't believe it. Little bit of footwork, dancing feet in at the corner. What a play. What a fantastic set of skills he had. Got rid of the would-be tackle that was coming in from Hughes, and then just too much pace for the cover coming across. Second try for the Chiefs.
Tapia Cook Savage out of the Waikato. That's his first try of the tournament, and that's an absolute beauty. Now, Lucas Cashmore with the kick from wide out. Try and make it 2 converted tries versus 2 penalties. Here is Lucas Cashmore. Out of the Bay of Plenty. Nice big deep breaths. It's a nice strike. And it's an even better accuracy. 14-6. Chiefs responding to early penalties from the Crusaders with converted tries.
Now, I'm sure the message will get out to the Crusaders that they need to be better in their own half. They're a quality side, quality outfit.
Back to halfway, you can see the no wind and the flags lying dormant. It's Dom Gardner going up and trying to secure that ball for the Crusaders, but all he's managed to do is lose it forward. Here's O'Connor. Come away. Tarama Reuben. He will just carry all day long. O'Connor. Cashmore on the left foot. That's a big kick, but Lewis waiting for it. They go back to Murray. Blair Murray looks at his options. Puts the ball up. Waiting for it is O'Connor. Dances away from a couple, does Kane. Then he's taken down. A couple inside Crusaders half. Numbers away to the right-hand side. Interesting option to kick, claimed by Gardner. He switched from lock to blind side. The Crusaders can work. Comes to Johnson, the new lock forward. That's been turned over. Bernie Hutty's got in and turned that over for the Chiefs now. Scott Jury. O'Connor sees a gap. Big gap for Kane O'Connor. Steps inside Rovo, just tips him up. Gardner there. Now getting over that ball. That's Fletcher Anderson. Well, Rover took him off his feet, and then it was a combo of Gardner and Anderson that have forced the turnover.
Well, Fletcher Anderson out of Christ College. You know he's got a big engine because he was part of their rowing team when he was back at school. But have a look at this break from O'Connor. Absolute class through the biggest dummy that half of the Crusaders took, and then Rover just managed to tip him over. And have a look at the play by the open side flanker. All rights to the ball. Super play. Boy, that's McCorish.
Good the work by Gardner, though, knowing that he can just rolls east-west as well, so gave Anderson that clear space to work in, and you're right, Wally. It's a quality turnover by Crusaders 7. Here's Segner. Drives into Tupaia Thompson in midfield. Hughes. There's Gardner. Lewis. Bouncing. Getting that ball is Matthias Peel. This is against the Chiefs, who are offside. So penalty for them.
Like the line speed from the Chiefs early in the game. 11 gone, but they're asking questions and they're putting the Crusaders under pressure, hence the reason, very un-Crusader-like, we're seeing passes go to ground and not to hand. That's the pressure that the Chiefs are putting on them.
So Lewis looks down this grandstand side. A few people come and go from the grandstand today throughout the course of the opening 2 games.
There's royalty in the grandstand as well. Aaron Penne's here.
There's members of the All Black coaching staff lurking around as well. Here's Hughes. Ball juggled a little bit by Keegan McGregor. Out to Gallagher. Here's Peel. Broughton. Getting on top of him, but they keep him driving forward to the Crusaders. Hughes wants that ball quickly and gets it. The ball has been tipped on. Lasanga. So again, another penalty though. So we go back to referee maybe on the 22.
Not sure if you take the penalty here. You're not going to win the game kicking penalties.
Well, not when the opposition score a converted try directly after you do it, will he?
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Change the mindset. If you get into the red zone of the opposition, make sure that you keep the foot on the throat and you look to get more than 3, and that's what they've done. So that's good captaincy from Segner. I was going to say, it's the kind of thing that you'd expect from the Crusaders, that they back themselves when they get into this position, and their strike rate is pretty good too.
Here is George Bell. Scored a try and had a try assist in the opening game. A lovely wee pop pass that put Macca Springer over in the left hand. Angus Maybe, eyes wide, laying down the law to the gentleman at the front of the line out. Bell, waiting for the call to come in. Gallagher to call. Up, down. Now they look to drive. Good way on straight away. Bell's just going to flop and score. Willie Losse had it absolutely on the head. And the Crusaders back to within 3. 14 gone.
I won't take any credit for that. I put it back to the captain, Anton Segner. He's the man that said, we're here, we're going to get more than 3. And just look at the way they executed it. Absolutely pinpoint, perfect throw. And George rings the bell.
Well, not enough bodies committed by the Chiefs as well. A lot waiting. And that's just a weight of numbers. And it's too easy for George Bell. Second try of the tournament. Segner, you see him there with the short blonde cropped hair. A couple of deep breaths. Now just explaining what he wants off this next action, which is secure the restart.
I bet it's get it out of our red zone. Nothing else. Just concentrate on the next kickoff. We don't keep the ball in here in our 22. That's the message you'd be sending to the troops.
Well, opening 14 and a half minutes of this contest. 3 tries, 2 to the Chiefs, 1 to the Crusaders. Lewis to convert, coming hard. Has he brought that around? No, he hasn't, so he's missed. Good pressure from the Chiefs. So the score remains 14 points to 11 in favour of the Chiefs. 15 minutes gone. Cashmore. So he's kicked off to either side. Looks like he's heading back towards his right wing side with this one. Yes, he is. Nice and high, and again it's Rova coming forward and taking it. And he's happy to carry. Rubin happy to smash him. Hughes, little stop, then just held it up. It's a good carry by Johnson. Hughes, Lewis, driving this one. And that there was a shot that has caused the penalty. And the chance if the Crusaders want to take a shot for goal to even it up. Lewis got cleaned up after he cleared that ball from just outside his 22.
Love the way that they, it's just Crusader, isn't it? Just workmanlike. They score a try, they get together, they have the meeting, they say, we clear it from here. And that's exactly what Lewis done, and he's hit late. Yes, the player was committed to it, but it is late nonetheless. And here they come again, the red and black machine.
Well, they've turned down the shot at goal and said, right, we've just embarrassed you 2 minutes ago. We're going to try and do it again. Be interesting to see, Willie, how the Chiefs number up, because they simply didn't have enough bodies to contain that driving maul. To set the line out drive. Gallagher. Call. They go to Signet. Form on him. This is better by the Chiefs, but once again they changed the point. The Crusaders rumbling forward. And the Crusaders scoring. George Bell. There's another. Well-oiled Crusaders machine strikes again, and they're in front. 16-14.
I think I read that book about 2 minutes ago. Unbelievable that you just get down there and just push replay. Beautiful throw. Signet brings it down. And look at the body positions. That's the impressive thing. No one's got their head high trying to look for the camera. They're all just working hard for each other. And Bell secures possession, goes over and picks up a double.
Now, it's one of those tries where you really do want to sort of allocate credit to the whole pack. Nice execution on the line out. It was a great throw by Bell. Gets his position. And then they just drive. A lot more bodies for the Chiefs there, but nary they could do about it. 16-14, and Lewis looking to convert. There you see the angry skies around Mount Tauhara. Lights in full effect at Owen Delaney Park. You can see by the car park. Plenty of good spectator involvement in this one. Lewis drives it. 18-14. Gee, only 18 minutes gone, Willie.
It's flown. It has flown, but the quality has been terrific too. And it's all about pressure too. Mentioned that the Chiefs' line speed was causing the Crusaders to make some uncharacteristic mistakes. They've sorted that out.
Cashmore. Again goes deep. Rover says, I'll take that again. Thank you, team. Follow me. No, he's actually given it back to Blair Murray. Moves nicely onto his left foot and kicks. Very good touch finder. And Cook Savage goes quickly. Cashmore. Need to come wide. Throwing that one behind. Now trying to get down this left-hand side. It's Tamatiauti. No, excuse me. That was actually Tupaia Thompson. On this left wing side.
Don't need to panic here, the Chiefs. They've conceded 2 quick tries, yes. But they don't need to start throwing the ball around 7 style when it was the set play and their accuracy that really kept them in front of the game. And that's where he's just lost it forward, unfortunately, in front of the assistant referee.
You can see the ref straight away pressing the communication on his chest to let referee maybe know that there's been a knock on. So a scrum. 19 and a half minutes in. I think this could be our first of the contest. Great angle there. So the referee behind number 6 for the Chiefs. The quarter Broughton, who was a standout in their victory over the Hurricanes on day 1. The eyeball of Dom Gardner. Prepare to put their shoulders into the scrum. Hughes to feed. Nice heel. Hasn't come back though. Crusaders come off the side, and it's going to be against. So it's a slight knock on there. And so it's going to be the Chiefs. I thought it looked like a very good heel by Bell, but it just seemed to get caught. So some good pressure coming in. Good contest so far in that particular area. Let's see how the second one goes. Front row for the Chiefs of Bartlett, Hutty and Molia. For the Crusaders, it's Brown, Bell and Inch. And they go. Oh, big shunt coming in from the Crusaders, but the Chiefs clear it well. They use Diauti off that left wing to carry.
Yeah, I knew it was.
Corner. Drive by Cunningham. Oh, and getting in there, Segner. Wonderful work by the skipper. He wasn't isolated for long here before Cunningham, but it was just enough for the Crusaders skipper to get over. Now, what option do the Crusaders want to take here? Anton Segner says, let's go back to that corner that we've had some success in the last 2 times we've been down there.
Chiefs have got to be better at defending from here. They're really body positions way too high, and if they're conceding the jump, then they should be lower at the point of contact to make sure that they're not pedaling backwards as they have been. Don't be surprised if the Crusaders do something different and get the ball out of there quickly.
So Bell to throw. Up and all. Jury's got up and got that back for the Chiefs. Looking to clear. A little bit of space back there, but Liam Murray's in good position. He's looking at his options. He sees a wall of teal in front of him. He's got good support behind him as he presents for Hughes. Now they switch back from Fiaki. Lewis. McGregor. Segner. Carrying Anton Segner. He's taken down and presents well. But it's penalty on the angle. That is Dom Gardner, who has been penalised there. So a reprieve for the Chiefs and a chance for them to push back into Crusaders territory.
Game of rugby is about momentum, Nigel, and for a period of time the Crusaders have had that momentum. Everything's been going their way. The Chiefs are under the pump, haven't had a chance to get that flow that they had in the opening 5 or 6 minutes. Maybe this is their chance. They just need to be patient and hold on to the ball.
Hutty coming down hard was the Crusaders jump up. But here's Reuben and Cashmore and Rover just about with an intercept. Now Rampling. Counter's still on for the Chiefs. They've got space down the right. Kick comes through for O'Connor. Sits up for Kane. Oh, and then he just gets his pockets picked by Peel. And Matthias is away and he pops the ball. Now it's caught by Lasanga. O'Connor. And through go the Chiefs. Willie Loso thinks he's back at the Hong Kong Sevens. But the Chiefs with the try. 19-18, back in front, another lead change.
That is unbelievable play. Some fantastic skills shown. And then the lines that they ran as well. This Chiefs side's got multiple threats right across the park. I thought that Matthias Pio had done really well because that looked like it was all sorts of trouble. And then Rampling, he straightens it up and he gives it to his fullback, Cook Savage, and says, go to work. And so look at the pass to O'Connor. I thought they were in for all money here. And then that last line there running outside in, untouched. That is fantastic play. And the Chiefs go in again.
It's one of the features we have seen. Some really good line running. I think that is Tupai Thompson trying to get the number. Either Tupai Thompson or Rampling. Very similar-ish. So I'm going to go with Tupai Thompson. We'll get confirmation of that for you.
I think it was Cook Savage, actually. Nigel, looking down.
We'll get confirmation of that, but gee, it was whoever it was, cracking try. And it's been converted as well by Cashmore. So 3 converted tries for the Chiefs, and they're back in front. For how long? Here come the Crusaders. As the restart has been muffed, they'll come back for that initial knock-on against the Chiefs.
Yeah, going up high and just losing control from the kickoff. And so This is that try. Have a look at this again. The line that he rang. I think it's Cook Savage. Yes, it is. 15.
Yes, it is Cook Savage. Well done. Losay 1, Yolden 0. Cook Savage with a double. Joining George Bell. Now the Crusaders. Gee, it's been a really busy 26 minutes of rugby.
They'll sleep well tonight, these young men. Boy, I'm tired already.
Rova now just comes to drift apart. You see the gentleman in the number 11 jersey there, just briefly on your screen, just skipping back. You see Rova just directly behind that scrum. Now he's just drifting towards that left-hand side. The rest of the back line stacked away to the right for the Crusaders. It's Lewis, McGregor, Fiaki, Murray, and Pio. Rova holding that left hand at the moment. There he is. And who played Condor Sevens for New Plymouth Boys High School. Now he comes across. Good solid scrum by the Crusaders. Hughes. There is Rova to carry. He carries well. Hughes. Away to Segner. Taken by Jury. Back left. Trying to get out wide. Here's Rova again, trying to step through. That is Gideon Rampling waiting for him. Bell. Always a willing board carrier is George Bell. Hughes. Lewis. McGregor. Showing. Nice fend by McGregor. Still going McGregor before he's finally brought to the ground by Tupaia Thompson. They need a halfback. There he is in Hughes. Now it goes away to Johnson. Waiting for him was Broughton. Now, looking to form. Step back and drive as a trio. Segner sits there waiting. He wants to do the same. Jury trying to get through and spoil. Crusaders, see the try line right behind them there. Another pick and go. And a pot of two. Pick and go one more time. Advantage right in front of the referee. Segner there. It's a penalty. The referee maybe is just going to have a wee chat here with Gideon Rampling, skipper of the Chiefs. Discussion, no doubt, will be about infringing inside that 5 metre zone from the try line. You can see Cook Savage, very animated. Big decision, and Anton Segner says, I'm actually going to take the shot at goal, sir. And a chance for Lewis to even us all up.
And it was Jury that got off the line a little bit too quick, right in front of the referee. Needed to just take a metre, just take a step back. But just wanted to try and shut down that space of the Crusaders, and they work so well in pods of 2 or 3, and their ability to get one wide of the ruck is the reason that they got so much momentum. But what a lovely run earlier from McGregor, the number 12, down the right-hand side of the field.
Converts, and we're all tied up again at Owen Delaney Park in Taupo. 21 all. I say it's only been 28 minutes because it really doesn't feel like 28 minutes, Willie.
And 42 points has been scored in 28 minutes, so you do the maths there, how good it's been.
Lewis with his third penalty to bring things back to even Stevens. Cashmore. That's nice and high. That gives his forward something to chase after. And Rover comes in. Clipped a little bit, but referee may be happy with it. Here's Broughton. Nice tackle by Murray. The Sanger, though, in good support. Here come the Chiefs back. Been a change with Ioane Moanano picking up, going again. O'Connor, short ball. Gee, that defensive hole was plugged pretty quick. But the Crusaders are under all sorts of pressure again. Moanano wants to go low. They drive him back under advantage. O'Connor comes out wide. Rampling for the corner. Tupaia Thompson inside for Tialti. Try awarded.
Beautiful hands. Tama Tialti gets over in the corner. But take it way back to Tavita Offa. He's the man that went in and stole the ball. Got the turnover from the kickoff. It was taken by Rover in the air, but Offa The winger got it, and then Rampling, have a look at this class. Just straight. Run straight and pass. Such a simple game as rugby. Sometimes it's made complicated, but not when you've got class like Rampling there in the midfield. They can just straighten it for the Chiefs. And Tama Tiaute says, thank you very much. I'll pick up a 5-pointer.
So another lead change. Half an hour, I'm exhausted, Willie, and all I'm doing is sitting here talking about all these young players.
You might need a lie down.
Goodness gracious me, cup of tea and a bicky maybe, half time. Here is Cashmore. 3 from 3 so far. This is by far his toughest of the afternoon. It's a nice strike, but he's dragged it across, so first miss for Lucas Cashmore.
Just going back to that turnover, Nigel, it's often at times that we don't see it in the period of play because we just look at the way that it's finished, but it started on the other side of the field, and just look at this. That's wonderful wing play. To know that he's running out of space and to come inside and to take a pass from Tupai Thompson and knew that the winger would be there. That's just, it's unbelievable to watch it come up.
What, 8.5 minutes to go, and this first half, which has already netted 47 points in total. Lewis. Now, can the Chiefs secure this kickoff? Nicely taken by Cunningham, an ironic cheer out of the grandstand. Connor's going to go to the air. Push that one probably a bit too far. Murray waits, quickly moves it away to Lewis. Tries to get away from Broughton. Not many have done that. And Tarama Rubin's got under him as well. They've got Ollie Lewis in a whole world of trouble here. Crusaders driving him forward. Still moving forward. Still going forward. Now, referee maybe blows and it'll be turned over for the Chiefs.
That is one alley you don't want to run down. Why you would run into Broughton and Rubin is beyond me. That's not a successful story. And they hold him up here, keep him off the ground. And all they need to do is just get the ball to the ground now. But the Crusaders just keep piling in, making valuable meters. That's a great read, though. Broughton showing immense strength, the blindside flanker for the Chiefs.
Well, we always know this when we talk about New Zealand rugby and the depth, but gee, how would you like to be Tumbai Matson, Corey Jane and Tom Donnelly trying to figure out who your loose forwards when you name an under-20 side are going to be, because we're seeing throughout the day amazing depth in that area. This is going to be a tough side for Tumbai to pick. In his first go as the under-20s coach, ball comes away to this right-hand side. Here we see Offa trying to step his way through. Taken by Fiake and a penalty. And was that Segner in there again? Yes, it was.
Angle of entry as well from the Chiefs forwards, looking to get over and help Offa, who had got isolated. And this is where the referee says they came in through the side instead of coming back in around. And there you can see, straight in. Yeah, easy decision. I think it was Rampling, or it may have been Tupai Thompson. One of the midfielders going in, trying to clean out.
Lewis trying to hook that ball into the corner. He's done so successfully. It's going to be a line out just short of the 22. Lights in full effect now. Dark afternoon in Taupo. To the back, taken down nicely by the Crusaders. That was Zach Gallagher. Down to Bell. Now Hughes comes in. Lots of talk from Gallagher. Scanning, looking. You can see the communication coming from Hughes. Says, now give it to me. Away they go to Segner. He's got support from McGregor. Presented well. Hughes wrapping around. That's Gardner losing his footing. Hughes. Gallagher on the carry with his lock-forward partner and Johnson and Brown supporting. It goes to Inch. Spinning as Anderson in the tackle. It's a good tackle as well. Nice defensive line set at the moment by the Chiefs. Hughes to Bell. Inside ball. That gets him a bit of gain line. Presses it back. It can go by Bell, who's dumped unceremoniously. Segner. Lewis. Inside ball. Murray trying to wriggle his way through. The case to be The Chiefs' defensive line holds.
Yeah, terrific read. Right across the park, you could see them talking and making sure that everybody's holding their line. Nobody's rushing out of it. And just on this occasion, sadly for the Crusaders, just those decoy runners in front mean that they've created some blockage and interference, and it's an easy decision for the referee to make. Nice patient build-up, though, by the Crusaders. 7 phases before they went to unleash the back line.
4.5 to play. Defensive scrum for the Chiefs. And they have been under a little pressure from the Crusaders pack. That one's nice and solid, though. They go to down ground, and O'Connor releases it to Pia Thompson. Good positioning there by Murray. He's going to punch this one back. Where's that going to bounce? Bouncing, still bouncing. Is it going to go out? Yes, it is. So they're going to bring all the way back. And so we saw that earlier in the day when Ruben Love unleashed Aidan Morgan it was, unleashed an absolute cannon of a kick from his own 22 that went dead, and they had to trudge all the way back, and this has given good field position for the Chiefs. 5 in Crusaders territory. Blind side of about 10 to work with away to the right, open side left.
Like this Chiefs back line. Pia Thompson's got lovely circus skills, but Rampling, for me, is the man. Put the ball in his hands and let him do the things that you know he can produce. Just love watching him run with ball in hand. So silky, so classy, and a great skill set.
And getting that ball back. Here comes the shunt from the Crusaders, but O'Connor has it to Pia Thompson. Flying up at him was Lewis. Ball has been lost. And the runs to Pia Thompson, gets up shaking his head. It'll be the Crusaders now, loose head and feed as we close in on half-time. It's been an entertaining first 40 minutes in our final game of day 2 of Super Rugby Aotearoa under-20s.
Plenty for the coaches to talk about, though, at the break. And there's still things that, they set such high standards, and the kickoff will be one concern for the Crusaders. And I'm sure that they'll still mention it. And as for the Chiefs, well, their line-out defence is something that they're going to have to address at the break.
Quickly, Segner reaches in. They come away to Lewis. Skips it out to Fiaki. Puts the ball on the feet. He's driven that one down and bouncing and still bouncing. And the Chiefs touch that one. It's going to be a goal line dropout. I wonder if for a moment there, Tapia Cook-Savage just forgot the ruling.
Tell you what else he's just forgotten. There's the option there. He went for a quick drop kick and it didn't come off, and now he's given the Crusaders a real chance to draw even, if not take the lead before the break.
Scrum dead in front. The back line goes on a 4-2 split. Near side, that's Murray and Peel. The bottom of your screen to the top, it's Lewis, McGregor, Fiaki and Rova. Need a good platform to work off. Segner packs in at the back, the captain. Good hit. Ball sits at the back. Segner dumps it off for Hughes. The best work off the back by the 8 and the 9, who've been pretty good in this tournament to this point. Segner will now look to play halfback. No, he says to his props, join me. Let's go for a gallop. Under advantage with just on 30 to play. Gallagher, Johnson and Anderson with him. Hughes organising. Gardner drops down. Hughes again comes wide to Lewis. Now to Murray. Dancing, hot, stepping, trying to work his way through as Blair Murray, but he can't. Good defensive line set again by the Chiefs. Hughes. That's good hands by Seth Brown. Hughes again. Soren for half-time. Continuing to work. Signer goes straight ahead. Way it goes again to Dom Gardner. Chiefs line not bending too much though. Now Bell goes ploughing forward. Hughes again away to a wee two-man pod. More advantage for the Crusaders. Hughes, Signer. Anderson and Brown to try and drive the skipper forward. Penalty. And I wonder whether someone's off to the bin here. Willie, that's 3 in quick succession.
11 phases from the Crusaders from a scrum that didn't go very well. As maybe talks to Rampling and he is going to his pocket, and so Broughton will spend the next 10 minutes in the bin. A double blow for the Chiefs. Surely you go for a scrum here if you're the Crusaders.
Well, there is Nakota Broughton, who's been very impressive over the course of the first game and a half of his campaign. And Willie Losse and Anton Signer absolutely on the same page. Scrum packing down.
And with this, Nigel, it means that the number 8 has the option whether he packs in the boot or whether he goes to the side. And by going to the side, it means if Signer goes open side or blind side and feeds inside to a loose forward, there's no defender there at all. That would be where the number 8 should be.
Here comes Signer. Looking on the line. A bit of a nothing play off the back from Anton Signer as he tries to drive forward and smuggle back. Still set really well, though, the Crusaders. As we're 2 minutes beyond the hooter to signify half-time. Pick, go, Chiefs waiting. Signer again. It's to go to Bell. They get up and they drive him. Bell presents. Signer there, ever present. Pick and go. And a turnover secured by the Chiefs. That is a big, big play. Lots of pats on backs there.
That is a big, big man as well.
And Cashmore kicks for touch. Super play. That was Ioane Moananu who was able to secure that turnover, which means the Chiefs go into half-time with a hard-fought 26-21 lead over the Crusaders. Welcome back to Owen Delaney Park. The weather that was threatening maybe to impinge on this wonderful encounter between the Chiefs and the Crusaders has not. There's a torn All Black coaching staff, former Chief Scott McLeod and former Crusader assistant Brad Moore. Showing that the highest levels of the game here, just enjoying the talent on display. What an incredible first 40. Willie, what are the adjustments you think the coaches are making?
I don't know, but I reckon that Moore and Stormy have got a chocolate fish on this game. That's all I know. That's all that matters.
Cashmore gets it underway. The Chiefs in that alternative strip of the teal, the Crusaders in the black tops of the red shorts. With a slight wind advantage. Wind has swung around and is behind the Crusaders in this second 40. But holding on to that ball, and the Chiefs force another breakdown. Another penalty. And see, if they took the shot here, they can put themselves out to an 8-point lead, which would be their equal biggest of the game.
Well, starting the second half as they did the first, getting penalties. We saw that right from the get-go, 2 minutes to penalty in the first half. It's only taken around 30 seconds here and holding on to possession. They've got a chance here to extend that lead, as you said. And it's a dream start.
And it was the same man who forced the turnover to finish the first half who's forced one to start the second. Ioane Moananu out of Counties Manukau.
Don't forget, the Chiefs still down to 14 players, Nigel. They've got Nakora Broughton still in the bin.
So here is Lucas Cashmore, the son of Blair. If you are listening, Mrs. Cashmore, my apologies again. And here's Lucas lining up the shot. Brings the left foot through, and the advantage is out to 8, and a perfect start for the Chiefs to the second 40.
Well, they've almost gone 2 minutes without their loose forward, so that just adds to it as well. That's the reason why they took the shot for goal there instead of trying to apply more pressure, just eat the clock out. And there he is, Broughton. He's been very good over the last few days.
So back to halfway. Quarter Broughton, the blindside flanker out of Bay of Plenty. Lewis has gone down the middle. Gardner goes flying in. Oh, and here's Cook Savage with space to move. Signer trying to get him, but they can't. It's Hughes eventually who drags him down. Great go-forward ball for the Chiefs. Cashmore rampling, straightens inside ball. Cashmore, little flick to Tiauti trying to dance his way through. Trying to get on that ball. O'Connor. Way it comes to Cunningham. There's Tapai Cook Savage again in the play. O'Connor diving through goes Gardner. It'll be a penalty and another chance for Cashmore to eat some time off the clock and earn more points for his team if they so desire.
Well, they'll go for the shot here, definitely. And what a kickoff from Cook Savage. That is just terrific from a young man. Kept his eyes on the ball. He never deviated from where it was coming from. And then he just went straight down Main Street. Have a look at this. That's the kickoff. Pressure coming through from the Crusaders, and he couldn't believe his luck because there was a massive hole, and he just went straight through the Crusaders' defence, and they continue to build pressure to get the penalty. Wonderful Chiefs play.
You see Dom Gardner diving through. So Lucas Cashmore. 3 out of 4 conversions in the first half. Has already kicked a penalty to start the second. Looking to extend this advantage out to double digits for the Chiefs. Strike. Does he like that one? Yes, he does. Lead extends out to 11. And as Willie Lose alluded to, with 14 men.
It's Chiefs 32, Crusaders 21.
Back to halfway, trudge the Crusaders. They showed good resilience against the Blues on Sunday. They're going to need to show that again. Lewis, that's high. Gardner trying to get underneath that. Knocks it on though, frustrated. You could see Dom Gardner. He knew he had the opportunity to snare that one and get hands on the ball.
Just like the fact that he went for it. Good, confident young player, putting himself in a really good position to try and get the ball, and they're going to make some changes on the front row for the Crusaders. But Nakota Broughton is only about 3.5 minutes away from coming back on. And in the time that he's been off, the Chiefs have scored 6 points.
Jack Sexton, Seb Calder coming on. Sexton, the loose head in 17. Calder, the tight head in 18. So you're allowed 12 rolling substitutions throughout the course of this game. That's one of the variations they're using at Super Rugby Aotearoa under 20 week. Also got the 50-22 and the 22-50 rule in effect. If you kick from inside your 22 and bounce the ball out inside the opposition's half, you will get the line-out throw in that instance. Likewise, if you kick from your own 50 and bounce the ball out in the opposition's 22, you will get that line-out feed as well. Loose end feed Chiefs. It's a nice blindside to use at 15 metres if they want to. The backline... Stack flat. Oh, completely missed. It's come out and O'Connor's knocked it on. Crusaders still have it. They're marched over the top. Signer. Lewis. They've come back here. And it's a penalty against the Crusaders. Well, I'm a little confused as to what the infringement against the Crusaders was in that one. Nonetheless, Lucas Cashmore has made them pay with an excellent touch finder. That goes back. Willie, yours please.
Let it go through to the keeper.
perplexing at best. Here is Moananu. Up and taken nicely by Cunningham. Ball comes away. Now the chance to try and use Cashmore. That ball floats out wide. Cook Savage. Ball in two hands inside Rampling. Bell, what a cover tackle by the hooker. Now O'Connor's left it. Lewis has kicked it. Moananu's got it. And Angus maybe says, let's all just settle down and I'll play. One of the multiple infractions that we've just watched is he was just getting a little bit toey, a little bit fractious.
Well, what about the impact that Cook Savage has had on this match? The break through the middle from the kickoff, and then that run down the sideline where he gave the ball to Rampling. The thing that I love about him is that he keeps the ball in two hands so the defence doesn't know what he's going to do. This ball that is thrown out the back is gold. This is like when you find a gold nugget. That ball there is unbelievably good. Beautiful from Cashmore. And there is Cook Savage down. Ball in two hands. Defence don't know what to do. And they just lost it forward. But boy, that is classy play for young men.
Back to their full allotment now as well.
Nice replay, Matt Quinn.
So now the Crusaders scrum. Needing to exit. Feed in. Crusaders just plough over the top. Hughes. Gee, that was well picked up by McGregor. He drives them forward. Hughes, Lewis in the pocket. Away it goes. Nice work on the exit by the Crusaders. All over the advertising hoardings.
And the Chiefs will return to 15 as well because Broughton gets his boarding pass. He's looking to try and get on. The Chiefs management are pleading with the officials, please.
It's David Fox, aka Foxy. Not the most original nickname. One of the great men is D Fox. Looks like he could go out and give them maybe 15 or 20. He's getting a bit twitchy as the Chiefs work their way down the left wing touch. Inside. It's a nice carry by Bartlett. O'Connor. Cashmore. Lasanga. Fiaki trying to get onto that ball. Bobbled a wee bit by the Chiefs. Backwards though. Driving forward to the 22. The direct route. O'Connor. Cashmore. Trying to step his way through. Segner latches on. Can they move him? Yes, they can. It's a good clear out and one that was needed. Jury to Cunningham as the locks combine. This is nice by the Chiefs, showing patience. O'Connor wants to go left. Here's Ruben who'll carry all day long and then some. O'Connor to Cook Savage. Now they've got to get the feet out from underneath that young man quickly. Moananu. Ioane gets rid of a couple. Then rolls and presents well. O'Connor. Cashmore running for the gap. Closed on him. O'Connor with a snipe. Easy as you like. Kane O'Connor with a double. And the Chiefs give themselves a great buffer 10 minutes into the second half.
Oh, like a thief in the night. Somebody forgot to shut the door. And O'Connor just helped himself to the second. Wonderful patient play, though. They held on for 11 phases. And O'Connor couldn't believe his luck. He looked up. The winger had gone on vacation. O'Connor sprints around, puts it down. And I hate to say it again, Nigel, but that was all done with 14 players. 11 points scored in 11 minutes.
14 phases in that movement. Beautiful patience from the Chiefs. And rewarded. And they really have punished. They have punished the Crusaders with 14 men. And one of their best too with Broughton in the bin. Here is Cashmore to convert and extend even more if he can. Easily through. 39-21. Healthy 16-point advantage for the Chiefs. 10 minutes into the second half.
They got plenty of Chief support here as well. They all went up as one when they saw O'Connor. And that's just smart play. You can't coach that. You either know it or you don't. He could have passed to somebody, looked up, couldn't believe it's Christmas, come early.
Lewis back on halfway to restart for the Crusaders. Goes high. And for Gardner to chase. Rover going there too, but it's taken beautifully by Emma Paul Cunningham. Yeah, O'Connor's been good coming in for the injured Ben Strang. Box kick. Blair Murray climbs, loses it. Diving and swooping on that ball is Lasanga, the open sider. O'Connor with a wee kick in behind. Chasing his offer. Murray tries to dance away from one, holds his feet. Then he gets flung to the ground by O'Connor, who's having himself a game. Holding his rib though, Hughes. Away it goes to Calder. The Crusaders look to try and exit from their own 22. Lewis onto the right foot. It's a nice touch finder. Tapia Savage with space. They're not going to muck around. Cashmore. All right, here's Tialti. Rampling. Looks to straighten. And presents. No one there. Flicks it up. Jury's driven back. Bell trying to get over the top and secure that ball. The Chiefs have managed to maintain though. 1-0. Cashmore. Reuben trying to clear a path, but it's getting in each other's way.
That's the first mistake the Chiefs have made in 12 minutes. Incredible rugby. Talk about keep ball. They have just strangled the life out of the breath out of this Crusaders side by just not giving them possession. They've held on to the ball for, I would suggest, 11 of those first 12 minutes of the second half. Incredible.
Lewis looking to the far touch while Kane O'Connor, they check him. It came reeling out of one of those collisions, just sort of holding the ribs. Tough little rooster though, as most of the halfbacks are. He's heading back. They have got Angus Kay from Bay of Plenty who's come in. Another Bay of Plenty halfback. And he's on the bench if required, but O'Connor's going to keep going. Bell to the front, taken by Gardner. Crusaders looking to drive. They used this to good effect in the first half and scored 2 tries by the man who's currently holding that ball in his midriff, George Bell. Still going, the Crusaders. Bell's still got it. They've only got a few metres to go. Jury's come through. Illegally, says referee Gardner. Only a few more metres, and Bell's got a hat-trick. They needed to strike Willie Lossay, and they did. It's 39-26 with a kick to come.
3 tries, all coming from lineouts. It's a simple recipe when your attitude is, I'm just going to push and just let George Bell determine when he wants to score another try. The first 2 he scored were from about 5 and 10 out. This time, they rolled up the sleeves and went 25 metres to make sure they got it done. As you mentioned, they had to score next, and they're very much back in this game.
You see the great positioning of the hooker. See Corey Callow who's on. He's got the headgear on, so we don't get to see that wonderful mullet of his. Jury there. This was under advantage. It's got Jury looking around. He's the one who's been called for the infringement, but it's all for naught as the Crusaders crash over. Bell with his third. And Lewis. Vital kick to try and bring this down from 13 to 11. With just on 25 to play. Big deep breath. Converts. 39 plays 28 with 25 to go.
And can I just say, just a point on the referee there, terrific. Because Jury had come across and maybe could have penalised and gone back to the point, but he told him to get out of there. And when he did, that's when they went forward and scored. That's what you want to see from the officials, is if someone's impeding, get them out of there.
It's called a feel for the game, is it not?
Is that what it's called? Okay, well, he had a good feel for the game there.
Here comes the restart. And now the Crusaders needing to exit. And there's Segner. He'll happily roll up his sleeves and keep charging. Hughes. Back that ball goes to Shun Miyake, who has come on. And Miyake with a nice touch finder.
Great moment for Japan rugby. Having Miyake here playing for the Crusaders. Of course, a great week for Japan with the Masters.
Yes, the first ever male Masters winner in Diki Matsuyama. That was a great performance as well. Nice take. Cunningham. O'Connor. Sarama Reuben. Presents nicely for O'Connor once again. Wide they come. Rampling such a danger. It's picked up beautifully by Murray on the bounce. There is Miyake with a beautiful spiral. It'll set up for Cashmore inside his 22. Plenty of time and hooks it a little bit. So a net gain for the Crusaders.
Do you think they'll drive to the try line from here, Nigel?
Well, would you back against it, Willie? Well, they've had such success from short and middle distance, so a long-range effort maybe. You suspect they want to get the backs going. Surely you want to try and get Shafiaki involved at some point. But no, they do go to the drive, and maybe they are going to prove Willie Loso 100% correct. As they
No way.
charge on through. Huge now go away. It comes here to Rova. Trying to dance his way through. He's isolated, Johnny Rova. Here's Hughes. Back inside to Gallagher. He's met in a strong tackle by Jaden Kingy in jersey 19. Miyake, Gardner flung to the ground. Smuggled back. Miyake again trying to find his way through. Hughes. Back it comes now for Jack Sexton. Hughes there quickly. There's all under advantage. Rova looking, waiting for the mark. High tackle was the call from referee maybe.
How nervous are you if you're a Chiefs fan, knowing that they're going to a line-out inside their own 22?
Well, they tried the first one. The first try from Bell in the 14th minute. They didn't have enough numbers, got steamrolled. They then stacked with numbers in the 17th minute, still got pushed back. They actually defended that last one all right, but just the way the Crusaders were able to manipulate and move to the space, Willie. Let's see what they've got now. They've got to get the line out right first. Bell, it's a bit wonky, messy, and away it comes for Calder. They still have it, but the opportunity to drive is negated. Hughes. Forwards looking. Come back away. Here's McGregor. McGregor trying to take on. They've got numbers there, the Chiefs. Over the ball. Got isolated. Did Keegan McGregor. And Viveni Lasanga has punished them.
Well, it broke down when the line-out wasn't taken cleanly, and so they had to go to plan B, and that's where he got belted as well. Poor old McGregor. And as you mentioned, Lasanga, so good at that breakdown. Look at this. Firstly, the tackle. Boofa. That hurts. And Lasanga's in.
Also going in there as well as Tavita Offer. It's a combo. They've done great. Now the Chiefs have got to get this line out right. Taken down nicely. Ball comes wide to Cashmore. There's Tarama Rubin. Sets a great target in midfield. Now offside is the call. So they piggyback. There goes O'Connor. He's away to the races. Callow drags him down. Trying to get in over the top of the Crusaders. Trying to counter. Have they done so? Murray's got his hands on it. Oh, great opportunism by O'Connor. Miyake now from inside the 22. Spirals that. Bounces it. If it goes out, no, it's not going to be a 22-50. Well, now swinging it away wide. Rampling. He's looking for space. If that bounces, Murray knows he's got to try and keep it in touch. He can't. That's going to be a line-out throw for the Chiefs. Was touched by Murray. He knew that if he didn't try and keep it in, it was going to be a line-out throw to the Crusaders anyway.
Look at this from O'Connor. You mentioned he was off to the races. He's a greyhound. You'd back him every time. But look at Callow. Fresh legs on the field. Terrific loose forward play. And then this is the last part of it where Murray just couldn't keep the ball in, unfortunately. Lovely kick from Rampling. And there's the reaction from the bench.
I have to say, was a mark set there for O'Connor. Great, though, just reacting and going. Taken down nicely by the Chiefs. They've got this 11-point advantage as we tick over the hour mark. Ball gets dragged back by Moananu, who's been a handful since he's come on. Trying to get over that ball is Callow. Oh, and he's just come straight through Corey Callow. Coming away, short ball. Down this right-hand side, ball flicked back in. Taking it as Segner, foot and touch, though, on the far side. Well, one thing you know about the Crusaders, They will fight you right to the bitter end. Here's a change. Off comes Max Hughes, who's had another very impressive performance. This will bring on Brian Liliafano.
Crusaders are making a substitution. Number 21 is coming on.
So this will be a line out for the Chiefs, far side. So we head into the final quarter of this game. Another player trying to get on. That's Josh Jacob. He's been sent back. Sanger, O'Connor, Ruben to carry and set that target again. O'Connor, Cashmore inside ball for Broughton. O'Connor away rampling, beats one. Finally taken to the ground by Fiaki. O'Connor. This ball away to Richards Coxhead. That's a great carry by Hakaraya. Left they come again. Cashmore, numbers. Rampling. Great tackle by Will Gouter. O'Connor a bit slow to get there. Crusaders go through. O'Connor. Moana, no! Did he get it down? No, foot and touch by Ioane. Kane O'Connor says, can we go and have a look at the television replay? Someone needs to inform Kane that is not in action here in Taupo this week. How's this from the hooker, William?
Yeah, that's terrific. Miyake did really well to push him because a big unit like that gets the speed wobbles at that speed, and Miyake pushes him, he puts a foot in touch, and they'll come back for the no advantage. They were operating under 14 players, the Crusaders. Their captain is down, Segner, and he was down for a long period of that attack from the Chiefs. Getting some attention now. You don't see that too often, so he is really hurting. And he's one of those guys that never, ever shows an injury.
It's going through. Up on the toes. He's trying to maintain balance. We're just seeing this out of shot away to the right of this. There you see they're just going through some basic exercises. He'll try and run it off. We didn't see them doing the stability checks that we've seen with regards to knee injury. So thumbs up, there you go, from the medical staff of the Crusaders.
Still under the pump because there's a penalty advantage here for the Chiefs. And I just wonder what Rampling's attitude. I'll tell you what amazes me about Rampling is just how he straightens the line. So many centres and so many backs run across the field. He straightens it. It reminds me, and I'm going to say this, it reminds me of a young Frank Bunce. Well, an old Frank Bunce too. He used to straighten the line when he was old.
Well, it's a heck of a compliment. And as someone who watched that particular player as young, I think you're bang on, Willie. I don't think that's an unfair comparison. I know people sometimes do get a bit nervy, but just in terms of the similarity, perfectly just in saying that. Perfectly just as well as taking the kick at goal here as Josh Jacob has come on. Let's take it out to a 14-point advantage, and Jacob slots it nicely. So with 17 to play, it's a 2 converted try advantage for the Chiefs over the Crusaders.
I had the pleasure of playing with Frank Bunce at Auckland and North Harbour, and he just knew that he always gave 100. Just that I see from Rampling, Nigel, I just love seeing wing three-quarters that just straighten the line and give their outside backs more space.
Frank Bunce always struck me as the kind of person you'd like to play with as opposed to against.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Here is Shefiaki. We haven't seen much of that number 13 over the course of the first 2 games for the Crusaders. Of course, having played provincial rugby last year, a member of the Crusaders squad, the senior squad, but just haven't seen much of Fiaki, moving him out from 12 to 13 today. There's Miyake getting the ball nice and high, and that there is taken by Jaden Kingy. As away comes Broughton, fighting with all he's worth for every metre. Jacob finds Murray. He's going to put this one up and chase. Coming forward and taking that nicely is Josh Jacob. Crusaders are there trying to keep him up. They've smuggled that one away to Richards Coxedge. Now they're trying to keep him up, but he gets a knee down. O'Connor. Here's Cook Savage. Oh, space down the left. Oh, lovely inside ball. Rampling, lining up Tiauti. Beautiful try by the Chiefs. With 15 to play, they extend again. 47-28.
Oh, that's a Chief special. That is something to behold. Talk about class and talk about the deception here of going down that left-hand side of the field. The dummy, do I hold on to it to Pi Thompson? Yes, I do. Then I give it to my captain, who just basketball styles it into Tiauti to pick up a double. Too much pace, too much class. What a performance from the Chiefs.
Well, it was 26-21 at half-time. They recorded 2 penalties to Cashmore, then a try which was to O'Connor, which was converted by Cashmore, and they did that all with a man in the bin. And they really have just stamped their class all over. This is a lovely round of applause. Might have been for Tupaia Thompson, possibly. I mean, I actually know it's for Kane O'Connor, who has been really good, the Masterton-born halfback. So that will see Angus Kay into the mix in jersey number 21. Crusaders have claimed. Here's Anderson charging forward. Presenting. Liliafano going for a snipe. Ball comes back. Is under advantage. All trailing by 21. I'm reasonably sure that conversion went over.
Well, I want to put my 20 cents in to the mix here because you've mentioned it and why you'd leave Fihaki unemployed for 66 minutes of the game is beyond me. Seen very little of this Crusaders backline. That's unusual.
Well, when you look by comparison to the Chiefs, who have utilised their skipper, again a provincial representative at senior level and Rampling so much. And the Crusaders go to the weapon. They continue to move. Chiefs trying to get them behind this one. Still marching forward, the Crusaders. Now they've been told they've got to use it. Now they drive once again, spinning. That's Gardner who's been pushed back. Still going. He's going to get penalised there. And that's the best defensive effort at the line out by the Chiefs. And they'll have a chance to clear their own try line.
Well, he's a gutsy player. You can never underestimate the effort that he's had here, but Lasanga had him tackled and he needed to release. But he wasn't tackled actually there, so I can understand his case. Originally, I think that he may have been tackled, but went again. But nonetheless, the Chiefs get a chance to get outside their red zone. And sadly, the Crusaders have really only shown one dimension, and that is the line-out drive.
It was so successful for them. So there's another change coming for the Chiefs. On comes Foto Molino, who missed the first game, was a late withdrawal because of injury. He comes on for the very impressive Tarama Rubin.
Jeepers, he's one of those ever-ready batteries, isn't it? You mentioned that he's going to keep running and running every single moment of the game.
18 years of age, 1.89 metres tall, and already 100 kilograms of relentless ball running and tackling. Gee, the talent in New Zealand rugby. Up, that's overthrown. Getting up there, great work by Jacob, winning the jump ball. Now that ball comes back again. Scooped up, bouncing around, a little bit messy. It's going to be knocked on by Rampling and a rare mistake, and it'll be a loose end feed for the Crusaders with 12 minutes to play. They trail by 21 points.
Well, with the energy that these young men bring to the game, it's a wonderful advertisement. It just goes to show the depth of class. And you mentioned it earlier that the selectors are going to have hard trouble picking the loose forwards. How about picking the whole team?
Yeah.
Boy, there is depth in every single position. Not an envious task. Good luck.
It must be one of the nice yet the hardest things for any national team selector. We talk about it a little bit with the All Blacks. We talk about it with the Black Ferns, the increasing depth that particular team is just getting year upon year. And then you come and you see this particular side and the wonderful talent available for Tumbai Matson as assistant coaches Tom Donnelly and Corey Jane. You can wonder, there's no surprise why there are so many coaches and administrators here watching, looking. No doubt, envious as well.
On the 2 days, evidence of the last 2 days we've seen, they could pick 3 teams that would be of equal quality.
Ball sits at the back for Segner. Ball worked away. So it looks like Segner's gone off. Well, there it is, trying to get Fiaki involved. Excuse me, they have actually taken Segner off and moved Callow to number 8. They finally try and get Shea Fiaki involved, and Chiefs are ready for that.
Well, he's cold. He's been standing out there for 69 minutes, and they eventually get him the ball, and look what he does with it. Throws it forward by 5 metres.
Yeah, good speed coming in. Rampling knew that he had to get up and get in that guy's face, and he did so. 10 minutes to go in this one. Chiefs. After a really tight first 40 minutes, the Chiefs have dominated the second half to this point. Just 10 to play. Penalty against the Crusaders. Trying to make something happen at scrum time, going straight down the call. And a chance for Jacob to come across and punch this ball down the left wing side.
Well, such is the class of this competition and the initiative, Nigel, that the Chiefs are going to go 2-0 and be the only side with 2-0. Such is the class of the players that we're seeing, that he's going to have a crack from 52 metres as well. But just that point that teams are beating other teams and the Chiefs will go unbeaten. But this, he's going to need all the wheat picks that he had this morning and some to get this over the post.
So just to recap our results from today, the Blues with a victory over a really plucky New Zealand Barbarians by the scoreline of 50-19. It's just 19-12 at halftime, though, to the Blues. That second match, Willie, that you called, the Highlanders and the Hurricanes, an absolute belter. Highlanders looked dead and buried, but came back and they only went down by 4 points, 35-31. And now we've seen this game, so it's a win apiece for the Blues, the Highlanders, the Hurricanes. And the Crusaders and Chiefs have got a win apiece as well. The Chiefs look like they're going to go 2 for 2 as Jacob lines up this kick. Couple of steps, that's a great strike. That's a really good strike, but he's just dragged it away to the left-hand side. So Jacob.
Did he take 2 steps only?
It only looked like 2-3 steps to me. At most.
Wow.
All about timing, Willie.
Wow.
He struck that really well. Here's Lewis going high. Fiaki chasing. That ball has come forward and the Crusaders have it. That's a big run from Seta Baker. Going in there is Lasanga. Great run, but he hasn't controlled it and lost it on. So the Chiefs with more ball to work with.
Tell you what I really liked off that, Nigel, was that Baker got through. Fortu Molino had knocked it forward, but just his work rate to get back in the game and to make up for the mistake. Those are the little things that coaches look at, and when they do their review with the players, that's what they want to see. If you've made a mistake, get back in the game.
Now the people who look at that, selectors. Great mental fortitude being shown by the Chiefs player as we now get ready for Angus Kay. Feeds, big scrum coming in again from the Crusaders. Taken off the back. And they're going to reset that scrum. Go again.
Geez, there's some pressure coming in from Sexton and Calder. They started the first game against the Blues where they were put under all sorts of pressure at scrum time, and something tells me that they've got something between the teeth now because they have really turned the screws on the Chiefs since they've come on in the second half.
It's Monu Morley, by the way, who's now in the middle of that front row as well. Just going to take time off here as there's an issue with the shoelace of both Hakaraya, Richards, Coxedge and Tupaia Mason. Mason Tupaia, excuse me.
Terrific.
Yes, Liz Lasanga
Here he is.
pumping up his loose head prop.
Mate, nothing worse than a loose forward telling a prop what to do. Terrific initiative, this competition, Nigel. That's what I want to say before we carry on. I just think it's terrific for us to actually get a chance to see the next best in New Zealand.
So the scrum packs down. Very quickly, they get this out. Kay taking on the line. Presenting well, the Chiefs. Kay. Here's Lasanga. Trying to get him, just every fibre of his body battling for every millimetre on the field. Broughton. Flat ball, nicely picked up. That was Tapai Cook-Savage. What a game that young man has had. And he presents well. Kay. Away for Cunningham. Great angle. Gets back up to halfway. That was Tupaya. Keep coming. Here's Jacob. Oh, gets hit in a big tackle there by Morley. Broughton flung to the ground. A great recycling from the Chiefs. Again, getting bodies over there to try and help the ball carrier. Now, have the Crusaders got this one? Yes, they have. What can they do with it with time tick-tocking away? There's Baker. Offloads that one for Liliafano. Presents the ball back. Crusaders still have it. Great shot. Was that Rampling? Liliafano. Lewis. Murray. Wide. Fiaki. Shea comes back in. Ooh, big tackle there. Can they get that ball back? Chiefs over the top of it. Liliafano goes in and gets it. Out they come wide. Rova gives that ball and it's dropped by Gardner. Well, opportunities have been there for the Crusaders. They haven't been able to convert.
Well, how about this hit from Rampling? Boom! Oof. On Leo Lefano at a Sacred Heart College in Auckland. He did not miss Rampling. This is one that you want for your highlight reel. That is how you tackle somebody. Blindsided. To his credit, Leo Lefano gets straight up.
I was about to say, you got to credit the little fella because he took that and then just turned and looked to present the ball, because that would have been a shot. The third and the fourth rib could have momentarily been the first and the second. That was so powerful. A great resilience as well by the halfback. So we've got just on 4 minutes to go.
Well, it reminds me of the great stories that you have in rugby and folklore. And a guy from Western Samoa, when they were called Western Samoa, before they were Samoa, was Brian Lima. They called him the chiropractor, because when he hit you, you had to go and see the chiropractor the next day. And that's what Rampling has done just there.
Time closing out on what's been an impressive performance. 26-21 it was at halftime for the Chiefs over the Crusaders. An outstanding first 40. On the second 40, the Chiefs have just dominated in all aspects. Here's Jacob. Now going downfield. Rova backtracks. Swings it away to Murray. There's the defence being led by Rampling. Straightening. Gauta. Good speed. Through the gap. He needs some support. Tracking across. That's nicely done by Molino. Chiefs are there. Liliafano wants to go quickly with the tap. Wants to come wide. It's Calder carrying, presenting well. Liliafano, Lewis, Rova. Fends off his fellow Fijian and drops to the ground and presents. Liliafano flicks that ball back. Blair Murray's got to scoop it up. Try and dance his way. Stop. He's taken by Kay round the ankles. It's messy though at the moment from the Crusaders. Whenever they look up, there's just a man in teal ready to hit them. Ball comes away now to Lewis. It's a nice kick. Got to keep that in. They do so. And now the clearance from Tupai Cook-Savage. One of the players, so I'm sure, maybe a name's gone into a notebook of Tumbai Matson or Corey Jane. I don't know how much selection of the backs Tom Donnelly's going to be doing. I'm sure he might have a word here and there. So Monu Morley twirls the ball, waits as time tick-tocks away. Impressive performance by the Chiefs. It's taken at the front. Bit of pressure here, though. They come away. Bit of a juggle by Himapol Cunningham. It's a penalty against the Crusaders again. I'm sure for Daniel Perrin there'll be a fair bit to digest when he looks at the videotape tonight, the coach of the Crusaders under-20s. Gee, if you're Paul Hodder and your Chiefs coaching staff, you've got Greg Smith, Jared Hoyata, Chad Shepherd and James Porter, a coach from each of the main sources of the Chiefs region, that is Waikato, Taranaki, Counties Manukau and Bay of Plenty. Busy day for Chad Shepherd because he's also coaching the Chiefs women's team in that match against the Blues in a couple of weeks. So he had media duty the early hours of this morning. Crusaders driving in, that's Gallagher. They're just looking to close this one out. Mason Tupaia. Crusaders try to get over that. Sanger comes in on the clean out. Okay, away to Rampling. He's just going to back in. They're just eating up the clock. Rolls it back. Vanilla Sanger will pick and go into the teeth of the Crusaders' defence. 30 seconds left. Pick and another go. Once again, it's Tupaia. Okay, a little short ball. Crusaders have gone over the top and turned this one over. Gallagher. They'll try and get Zach Gallagher to ground. Penalty here. Iliafano wanting to go quickly. Time is up. So, ball can go out, but it's the Chiefs who will be victorious. Yes. Bernie Hutty likes that one, and understandably so. Crusaders have punched this ball down into the right-hand side, still short of the 22 by some distance. Do they have a wee special maybe that they might want to try and go with to finish off this game? They have been well and truly beaten by a very good Chiefs side. Gardner gets it. They look straight away to drive. The back line sits and looks on. Still sitting there for the Crusaders. Just looking to drive. Go to the ground and Morley presents. The Crusaders are going to go pick and go around the corner. And that's a good surge. Liafano. Away it goes to Baker. It's a good carry up to the 22. Come away to this right-hand side. Chiefs determined not to let the Crusaders breach them. Here's Fiaki. Tiauti on him. Now the Sanger over the top. Ball is lost. And that will be it. And an outstanding victory by the Chiefs. They have defeated the Crusaders 49-28. 2 for 2 for the Chiefs. Having beaten the Hurricanes on day one, they beat the Crusaders. There's Jared Hoyata, part of the coaching staff. Greg Smith looking chuffed, and rightfully so. Paul Hodder is in the mix there as well. As they shake hands at the end, and the Crusaders will walk off knowing that they were in the match at half-time. A really spectacular and entertaining first 40 minutes, but the opening 10 minutes of the second half, when the Crusaders, the Chiefs I should say, were at 14 men, that was key. They got 2 penalties by Cashmore, and then Kane O'Connor got his second try. So they reeled off 13 points, a man down, and that really was the decisive moment of the game. Crusaders battled hard, but just couldn't get anything going, stifled by some excellent defence and then punished by some very good attack. So as they go through the handshake line, you see the joy on the faces of the Chiefs. They've got one last game. They will take on the Barbarians at 1 o'clock on Saturday in their final game. Crusaders will kick the day off at 11 o'clock on Saturday with the Southern Derby against the Highlanders. And then we finish off at 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon from Owen Delaney Park in Taupō. Hurricanes and Blues to finish. Willie Lossay standing by. We'll head down to Willie shortly to get some reaction from the two captains. Ben Castle, of course, has been part of your commentary team. Looking forward to having Taylor Johnson with us on Saturday as well for the final day as the management staff get in there. There's David Fox, the manager. He's well and truly pumped. Dave Lintott getting in there to take the snap for the Chiefs. It's a pretty happy team. Everyone just making sure they're looking good. And Dave gets the photo on the snap. So as we wait for Anton Segner and Gideon Rampling to make their way over to